We're standing on the edge of tomorrow, and he's asking us to get off of him because he just came back from retirement in a stellar Royal Rumble experience. I think this was possibly one of the best Royal Rumbles in my adult life. As a whole, and the men's Royal Rumble was just, it was great. About to the point of the one you had me sit down and watch where Ric Flair and
92.
Yeah, there you go. 92 with was Ric Flair and I'm looking right at him right now. Roddy Piper.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. No, Brock Lesnar had a great showcase. We're going to get into it and break it all down. But we got Edge back, yo. And even bigger than that, he may have been set to go to AEW in the first place. Wow.
Well,
He's better off in WWE. Honestly, I would never in any universe put him in AEW.
Right.
I mean, it would be interesting to see. According to
sources, according to most sources, he was never going there. But people have talked about him.
I suppose I should just hit the Meltzer alert here,
Meltzer.
because I'm sure he was one of the ones who said it.
Meltzer. Meltzer.
From most accounts, from pretty much every account I've read, he would talk to WWE, then he told WWE he was talking with AEW, and then he signed with WWE for the same price they were originally offering, which is fine. He's not making Undertaker or Brock Lesnar money.
But he's also got a pretty good schedule from the sounds of things.
He's not making Undertaker or Brock Lesnar's schedule, but better schedule than I make at my work.
Yeah.
For sure.
And according to Monday Night Raw, we're kicking off his return with a great feud with Randy Orton, which is a long time coming, and it's going to be fun. It's a good way to kick him off, I guess.
But before we hop into the actual show, let's talk about some quality apparel that you could hop into. And, of course, you can find quality apparel at Monster Wear Clothing. Yes, folks, at Monster Wear Clothing, who supports Beef Sticks Podcast, and we support them lovingly. You can get your small run or bulk orders on not only T-shirts and other clothing wear such as jerseys, but also decals, stickers, hats, glassware. Pretty much any type or style of fabric you can find. If you want a tramp stamp put right on your G-string, he's got it for you, baby. Along with custom graphics and logo design services offered, this is the place to stop for all of your your local logo. That's what I was trying to say. Sure, we'll go with that. Promotions. Anything that you want to slap your logos on and you want to get your name out there and you want to promote like a beast, Brock Lesnar. You want to promote like a monster, Abyss. You want to promote with Monster Wear Clothing. But of course, they're not our only quality clothing company that helps get our point across. No, you can also find that at Qualities T-Shirt Company. Yes, Qualities gives you custom T-shirts, sublimation, heat transfer, vinyl, and decals. If you got special gifts, they got them for you. How about sports team shirts? You start out a local sports team, you want to get your name out there, huh?
Hey, remember when we did that with volleyball?
Oh, it was great. We would have had better quality
gaming
stuff than Qualities. We can work out your weddings if you're sad enough to have a wedding. I'm sorry, but you'll need something to help out. Of course, concert merch. If you're a local artist out there trying to make a buck, make a dime on your time, well, these guys are sublime. Qualities. Any occasion, they are the ones for you. Of course, if you have any questions or want to know more, you can check out QualityShirtCo at gmail.com.
Yes. Support my boy, That Dude Saint, because he supports your boys, Pasty and Fat Mac.
He's a saint.
Now getting on down into it, and I'll slide right on in here because this is probably the first one I can speak on because I was there. Woo-hoo! I lived it, and I remember it in full. Because the day was January 26th, 2015. The event was Monday Night Raw. The problem was, it wasn't. Because of the blizzard of 2015. Due to said blizzard, a travel ban was imposed on the state just hours before Raw was to take place in Hartford, Connecticut. With the state looking at high winds, 2 feet or more of snow, and blizzard warnings in effect, the company essentially canceled Monday Night Raw and instead presented a snowed-in episode featuring replays of the previous night's Royal Rumble match, as well as WWE Championship Triple Threat match involving Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar, and Roman Reigns, as well as sit-down interviews with all 3 men. Now, the only other time Raw was canceled was on June 25th, 2007, the Monday following the double murder-suicide of the Chris Benoit and his family.
Whoop, whoop.
Yes.
Oh, wait. Sorry, that was inappropriate. Too soon, bro? Too soon?
Too soon. Yeah, I remember that. I actually watched that episode of Raw. I don't know why I did, because it was very pointless.
I watched it because I was interested, and I remember it. This is one of those stupid things where I remember where I was, because I actually was over at my son's mother's. She lived in a townhome at the time, and I actually went over there for whatever reason and sat down and watched it with her. And I just remember like JBL was on the rooftop kind of as the intermediary between segments and stuff like that. And I thought it was, obviously if they did it every week, it would be stupid. Nobody would ever watch it. But I thought it was interesting and something different, especially since, if you remember, folks, back in 2015, because it's way different than today, Raw was getting pretty stale.
Yeah.
So something like this was quite a shakeup that was kind of much needed.
Yeah, it was interesting, and they definitely turned chicken shit into chicken salad.
Yeah, it could have been much worse, or they could have just said, no, we're just shutting it down altogether. Yeah. USA play another Walker, Texas Ranger episode. You know.
They couldn't give Walker the airtime. 3 hours of Walker?
Oh, that's too much to handle, baby. I mean, that man cannot act.
Yeah, it's about time of this week in pro wrestling history is like inside my lifetime.
Well, you know, we try to shuffle it up. We try to do a lot of
because I was only born in 2007.
Right, so this is more. We try to do some more newer stuff, some older stuff. We try to do a mixture of, you know, WWF, WWE, Japanese, Mexican. We try to do a little bit of everything. It's kind of sporadic, but I think this is the most current news that we've ever had on there. And obviously it comes with the territory when you're talking about pro wrestling history. At least me, everybody knows I'm a huge, you know, connoisseur of the old-timey shit from long before I was born. But when I think of pro wrestling history, my mind just automatically jumps 30 years back.
You got to go to the foundation, yeah.
But that's not true because, of course, pro wrestling history was made just this last Sunday.
WWE will tell you it's made all, and it's a big deal.
Actually, WWE history was made just yesterday with some huge news that we'll get into later. But so it's good that sometimes we don't forget that history isn't just history from before we were all born. History can also exist in just the recent past.
Yes. With that, I think I'm about to click this here button and bring you into this week's Token JRR.
He's living in the Ozarks now, back up to the Ozarks, somewhere in Missouri. I think he's looking for Bigfoot. I'm not sure. If Cowboy finds Bigfoot, and he can make a couple of bucks, Bigfoot's ass is gone. I can just tell you that right now. He's a Cowboy. Don't do no jobs even in the Ozarks. But I had to clarify that.
I had to clarify that. That's good shit.
It's good that he clarified. It's very good he clarified, you know.
Cowboy don't do no jobs even in the Ozarks.
No, Cowboy don't do no jobs. Not even to the Bigfoot, buddy. I know the $6 million man Steve Austin job to Bigfoot, but not the Cowboy. But what Cowboy, you may ask? Well, you got to listen to JR's podcast to find out.
That's right. We give him free promotion because he doesn't do that for himself enough on AEW Dynamite. It's every week now. Every single week he talks about his podcast. Gotta get it in there.
And it's full circle because every fucking week on his podcast, he does a good 10-minute promo for AEW. And I give him credit. A lot of times he does actually shit on the product for the things that he doesn't agree with, and I love that he does that. But sometimes he'll just be talking about something that has nothing to do with it. You know, he'll be, well, you know, they raised the taxes over here now, over here in Oklahoma now, and just the same way they raised the ropes last Thursday night there on Dynamite. Boy, them kids sure got it. I can't tell you enough about them kids.
So is raising taxes good, or is raising the ropes bad? I don't understand what you're getting here.
What is it, JR? I don't know. I just made sure to say the name.
I just had to clarify that. No, you didn't.
Tony Khan tickles my taint every time I say the letters AEW. There he goes, buddy. Ha ha.
Somebody get this. Somebody find me Jerry Lawler. This guy needs a nap.
Sassafras.
I just imagine JR and Jerry Lawler spooning with thumbs in the mouths, sleeping soundly.
We're hoping
Chibi
the thumbs
art.
in the mouths. We're hoping.
Art. One of our lovely, beautiful Beef Sticks podcast fans should draw that up for us. JR and Jerry Lawler spooning chibi art style with their thumbs in the mouth, sleeping soundly.
We like it. We like it a lot. With that being said, I think it is time. It is time, but it's not Vader time. No, it's hard times, Pasty.
It's hard times time.
Times.
Yes. And we've got the results.
Yes, folks, NWA, now they're moving forward with doing pay-per-views. In fact, they've announced that their next pay-per-view is going to be the Crockett Cup, held in April. Of course, they did do a Crockett Cup special last year, but it wasn't an actual pay-per-view, so it's nice that they are...
was it around April? Because I feel like it was a lot more recent than that.
I think it might have been in summer, maybe at latest fall, but it was around summerish, I think. I don't think it was this early, but I don't know. The times all melt together.
I don't know.
Nowadays.
Yeah, I don't know exactly when. I feel like it was right about the time the Elite left Ring of Honor New Japan, though.
Yeah.
Because it was right when Villain got off on his own 2 feet.
Okay.
I think. Could be wrong.
You got a lot of points there that you're pointing out. I like that.
Yeah.
You could put up a whole chart and put little pins in there.
Yes. I can take a weather map and draw on it with a black Sharpie.
We dig it.
Yes.
So here we go, folks. This, of course, the whole pay-per-view was built around the television championship tournament to crown the vacant television title champion. And so we got a few first round ones. There's not a whole lot to talk about in this. As I gushed about last week, I super love one night tournaments, but I really
these
feel
are all really short matches. Yeah,
NWA, I think I see what they were doing. They threw a few championship matches in there.
Was this just an hour-long pay-per-view?
2 hour.
Okay.
But they threw in, a couple championship matches in between to really get people's attention, and I get that, and that's probably smart for selling it and marketing. But I feel like this pay-per-view overall, and I usually say my overall comments to the end, but I'm just going to say it now because there's not a lot to go over. If they would have got rid of 2, if not all, of the championship matches and made it just the tournament matches and had longer and more story-told matches, it would have been great. Because, folks, first round tournament, we had Trevor Murdoch defeating the Question Mark in just over 3 minutes. We had Dan Moff defeat Zicky Dice in 2.5 minutes, and we had Ricky Starks defeat Matt Cross in just under 4 minutes, and we had a bye match that didn't even take place. So there you go. That's the first round right there. You could knock that into less than 10 minutes.
Woohoo!
So I wasn't impressed with that. I actually really wasn't impressed with that. Wasn't for me. Moving on, Pasty. We had a NWA.
So what you're saying is it didn't make for good TV.
For me personally, no. For me personally, it didn't. Some people might dig it. For me personally, it didn't. Then we had the NWA Tag Team Championship match, and The Rock